Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am very excited because already we are getting into the second launch for Gourdz Paper Co. For those of you who are not familiar, Gourdz Paper Co. is my Etsy where I sell budgeting tools for cash stuffers. So without further ado, let's get into it. I was doing a black and blue dripped by E. Anyway. The first product I'm going to get into is this IOU slip. This is good for if you have any debts, like you're paying off credit cards, car payments. You can put your total, the amount that you've stuffed into the envelope to pay towards it, and then your remaining balance. Yeah, it's an IOU slip. I liked this one because I wanted to make it bigger. I saw a lot of folks make them kind of small and square, a teller slip size, but I decided to make mine a little bit bigger so I had more space to write, because sometimes the amount that you owe is a large amount and it doesn't fit on a small square. But yeah, these are my IOU slips. Pretty self-explanatory, but equally fabulous. Next up are a couple of savings challenges. I made another series. So this is the health series. So these are available both individually and as a set. But the first one is the ultimate self-care. This is intended to be medical. So for stuff like primary care physician, anything covered by your medical health insurance. So the design, we have this little heart with the was that the first aid Red Cross, little cross on the hearts. As usual, it's 20 icons. You set the amount and then you can have the total at the bottom. But the ultimate self-care. We have ICU, which is for vision. So again, if you have to pay for your exam, I know a lot of insurances cover the exam, but mostly if you have to pay a lot for glasses, contacts, anything vision related. I know also sometimes if you do the picture of your retina, which can be pretty pricey, save up for that. And last but not least in the health series is these pearly whites, which is intended to be for the dentist. These two, I started recently. I started envelopes for dentist and vision, so I was inspired to create savings challenges for those things because I am someone who is not particularly motivated to save for those types of things, and I also forgot entirely about getting my eyes checked, and I forgot that, oh my gosh, I have a dental cleaning coming up and I haven't saved any money for that. Sorry if you hear the dog barking. Next up is excuse me. Sorry, there was a dog barking. Next up is just a single savings challenge. So this is not part of any series, but it is just a single fund. This is I'm Out of Here, and this is intended for adventure, travel, time off, and it's got these cute little sun icons. So that is it for the savings challenges. Now I have some bigger sheets like my cash planning sheets, but obviously a different type of sheet. So these are 8.5 by 11. These are laminated and intended to be reused. So this is the unstuffing sheet, for when you've made debit or credit card purchases and you need to unstuff money from your envelopes. So these are pretty standard. You got the date, description, the category, so the envelope name, and then I added an account column because sometimes when you're unstuffing, you have money going back into your checking account to kind of replenish your buffer. Sometimes you're unstuffing money that's going into your savings account, so you reach an amount for a placeholder. So I wanted a place to indicate, what account, so you can kind of keep track of what's going where. The amount, so how much is coming out of that envelope, and then you can check off that you unstuffed that. I should have, there we go. So yeah, that's the unstuffing sheet to go along with that, but sold separately. Because I had this account column, but I didn't have an elegant way to incorporate like keeping track of the account and totals. I created the unstuffing slip. So this is a new product. I haven't seen anyone else do something like this, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I noticed a lot of cash stuffers on YouTube end up doing like a post-it note situation where they add up, like they have the total amount that they unstuffed and then the different accounts the money is going back to. Well, because you know me, I'm trying to replace all single-use papers and post-it notes. I made the unstuffing slip. So on the side, you can have what account, the amount going to that account, and then a total at the bottom going back to the bank in entirety. So I have an example, which maybe is not the best because I didn't have anything for savings this week, but I did an unstuffing and condensing off camera. But I have my two accounts here. I have checking and savings. So I have $180 that I unstuffed. That's the total it happens to be. But if I had like $100 going back into my savings, like let's say I had, you know, the date, let's say I bought like a sweatshirt. Category, you know, clothing, it's going back to my checking because it's a purchase. And then that's $180. That's an expensive sweatshirt, but just go with the example. Check that. And let's say I had $100 going back to my car, like that I saved for my car insurance, you know, that I'm paying for later, but I have some amount, I have a placeholder. I'm setting that money in my savings, date, car insurance, that's going into savings. And then the amount, $100, check it off. Then I would come on here, you know, I would have 280 total that I unstuffed. Checking 180, I would have the savings at 100 here, and then I would have 280 in total at the bottom. It just so happens that for this week I didn't have anything to add to savings, but so that's kind of how you would use these two things together. These are sold separately. Let me know if you guys want me to make a listing where they're a bundle together, and I can certainly do that. But I didn't know necessarily what the demand would be. But as usual for my like larger kind of sheets, this is 8.5 by 11. This is, I think, 2 by 3.5 inches. It's the same size as my teller slip. So again, you know, this is more for your use. You would not like hand this to the teller necessarily, but kind of for your reference. I keep it in my, I guess I don't have it out. But I keep mine in my bank bag personally, which has all of my other stuff. So that is the unstuffing kind of tools. Last but not least is also another new kind of product that I haven't seen another shop do, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And that is a reference sheet. What I noticed again with a lot of other cash stuffers is a lot of us have more than one source of income. So some of us have a couple of side hustles. Some of us are doing YouTube. Some of us have Etsy's, you know, some of us are doing DoorDash, you know, wherever your money is coming from. So you have to keep track of those sources because maybe your recurring expenses, some of them are coming from different income sources. So to make this make sense, I have my own personal reference sheet filled out. So these are the different sources of income that for me, I can get money from. I have my 9 to 5 that I unstuff, or, oh my God, I'm still on the unstuffing. I have my 9 to 5 that every week I have money that I cash stuff from. Potentially every week I can have Etsy money. Once a month I can have money from Twitch or YouTube. And then as people donate, I can have money from Ko-Fi. So what I would do is for the week, I use this section weekly, but you can, you know, depending on how often you cash stuff, you know, bi-weekly, whatever. It's intended to be the total amount that you're cash stuffing. So I fill this out per time that I'm cash stuffing, and then I have my recurring expenses. So for me, where it becomes important to have the sources is my bills come from my 9 to 5, but for Etsy, Twitch, and YouTube, I need to factor that I need to take at least 30% out for taxes. So I have taxes, I have the sources, which I wrote really tiny because it's my side hustles, 30%, total. There's not necessarily an end total for that. It's ongoing, so I put a line through. Due date, check mark. And then I have reference. Again, this is for this month, so some of these are written in Expo dry erase marker, such as utilities and electric, because those vary. But for my bills, I need to keep in mind that every week I need to stuff a minimum of $15 in utilities, $25 in car insurance, $25 in electric, and $10 in internet. And then the total goal for those bills. And it just kind of helps with that. So what I would do is I would fill this out. Let me move this clean one to the side. So like, for example, in my next cash stuffing, you'll see me use this in conjunction with my cash planning sheet. So I'll have my total. For this week, I'm only gonna have my 9 to 5, so it won't be too exciting to see this income section, but I'll have that. I'll know how much to put for my bills because I have the reference here. And that's just so that, you know, if you cash stuff your bills or recurring expenses, you can kind of keep track of how much you have to stuff every week if it's kind of a set amount. So yeah, that's how I would use this. I write out my categories, and then for the stuff that has a set amount, take that out, and then you can kind of cash plan the rest. And it's just a way to keep track of some of your goals. But for example, if I did have money from other sources, I would kind of go personally income by income. So like if I had money from Etsy, I would take that amount, subtract the 30%, put that towards my taxes category, and then kind of finish cash planning that income, and then I would go to the 9 to 5. This will make a lot more sense when I have a budget with me a week when I have more than one income source. But yeah, that's another one of my new products. Again, intended for sparks. And maybe if you don't have side hustles, maybe you're a dual income household and you cash stuff, you know, both you and your partner's money. It's just a way to keep track, because maybe like I've seen, for example, Aya Plans, she cash stuffs her boyfriend's paycheck and hers. So maybe like for car insurance, for example, she doesn't put her money towards that, but she puts his money. So she could put, for example, that it's coming from her boyfriend, the minimum she needs to put, and then the total, and then, you know, kind of go through and organize it in that way. A very long-winded explanation, but that's because this is kind of an unusual budgeting tool that I haven't seen anything similar. Admittedly, I kind of just created this for me and then just wanted to see if it was helpful for other people, but I just know a lot of us have more than one source of income, and keeping track of how much of each one has to go towards what can be a little confusing. So I wanted to create the reference sheet to kind of streamline the process. But otherwise, that is all of the products. So there's the reference sheet, unstuffing, the unstuffing slip, the health series. I'm out of here. I'm missing. Oh, here we go. I put it to the right. That's why. And then the IOU. And then I'm out of here, the solo challenge. So this is the second lineup for my second product drop. I hope you guys really like these. I had so much fun making them. I hope they kind of, you know, with the budgeting tools, really kind of fill in the blanks for some of us who maybe have been, I don't know, needing something in that niche. I hope they're supportive tools that you guys can use. If you guys want to check this stuff out, a link to my Etsy is in the description down below. And there you can find all the pricing, all the different listings. As you watch this video, these are live and available now. So you can pick these up if you are interested. I hope this was fun for you to watch. If it was, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have ideas for other things you would like to see me bring to the shop, definitely comment down below and I will see if I can make it happen. I will see you next time. Goodbye.